Okay, let's very quickly calculate BMI. Although by this point, I'm sure everyone knows the BMI and they know what it is, but let's just calculate it anyways. BMI is a general number that classifies the whole population, whether to just, it's an easy number to look by in the whole population. You can easily tell if someone's underweight, normal weight, overweight, or obese. Now, the problem with it is since it's the whole population is generally not muscular and athletic. So this number goes by so this number doesn't really work for athletes and bodybuilders. For them, they have to go from other ways. They have to go by body fat percentage, DEXA scans, all that stuff, all that good stuff. They can't really go by BMI. But BMI is good for the general population to just look at the number and tell, you can usually tell how that person is health-wise, whether they're overweight, obese, or whatever. Now, this number is used a lot in medical admissions, triage events, in any hospitals. They always look at BMI. Because again, it's a very easy number to look at. You can just tell the health of an individual. Generally, in the general population. Now, to calculate BMI, for anything, you really want to look at the units. If you look at the units, you can solve a lot of things much easier. So for like the metabolic equations, looking at the units, it's much easier to solve them. For this, if you look at the units, it tells you what you have to do. It's kilograms over meter squared. So you have to get your weight in pounds, and your height is usually in inches, so you have to get those to kilograms over meters squared. So it's a very simple conversion. So pretty much it's comparing your height to weight. So in order to get pounds to kilos, you just divide by 2.2, since it's 2.2 kilograms in a pound, and that's what will give you kilograms. And to get inches to meters squared, you have to do a little bit more calculations. Inches, you have to first get the centimeters, and then you have to get that to meters, and then you just square it to get to meters squared. So we'll just do a very quick demonstration. So taking my weight, I'm 155 pounds, had to get that to kilograms, so you just divide by 2.2, and that'll be about like 68 kilograms or something like that. And then I'm 5 foot 10 inches, so I'm 70 inches. Have to get it to first have to get the centimeters because there's no conversion to get from inches to meters. So first to get in inches to centimeters, you multiply it by 2.54. Very simple when you know there's more centimeters than inches, so it should be a greater number. So that's 144 centimeters. And now you have to get the centimeters to meters. It's very simple. Centi means 100 meters, so there's 100 centimeters and 1 meter. So you just divide it by 100. And that'll give you 1.44 meters. Now, rule of thumb is if your meters is above 2, you're probably doing something wrong, unless you have a really tall ass individual. It's probably not going to be above 2. So essentially just square it, and that'll be 3.14, whatever, and then do those calculations, and that'll give me a BMI of like 22.5. Now what these numbers mean is once you calculate them, you have to know the ranges, because the ranges are the most important thing. Of course, besides calculating them, but the ranges, if someone's BMI is below 18.5, that means they're underweight. There's really no way around that. I mean, at least if you're overweight, you can say someone's very muscular, but if you're underweight, you're underweight. That number does not lie if you're underweight, if it's below 18.5. And now if it's between 18.5 and 24.9, it's very important to notice it's 24.9, not 25. That means you're normal weight. And another thing is, the notice is 18.5. So if you're 18.5 BMI, that puts you as normal. If you're 18.4, you're underweight. It's not greater than or equal. It's very important to note 24.9 though, little cutoff range. There'll probably be a simple question on just the cutoff. In 25 to 29.9, again the cutoff, you consider overweight. And if you're above 30, you're considered obese. Now there's another category, if you're above like 35, you're obese category 2, but I don't think this class goes over that. Now, the problem with this is if you take an individual, you take my height and 5'10" and say I was 190 pounds because I have muscle, I work out a lot. I work like full of muscle. That will put me as overweight based on my height, if you do the BMI. Now take someone who is 190, is not muscular, it's fat, they're the same height as me, that'll put them as overweight also. Now clearly, muscular, fat, it's different health going on, but the BMI is the same. So that's an instance where you have to look at more than the BMI, you have to actually see the individual. But for case studies, you just go by BMI. Calculate the BMI, put them in the category, know the cutoff ranges. Sometimes she'll give you a BMI of like 25.1 or 25, and then you'll be like, oh, that's normal. No, cutoff, it's overweight. So just know the cutoff ranges, know how to calculate, and you'll be good.